Welcome back. We're here to cover the divine masculine. Yes, this reading's already looking juicy. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am your host, and this reading, honestly, I can't wait to get into it. The first message I got really from the crowning energy, which I'm going to show you in a minute, was really giving me some context that this person was really thinking about the queen of their castle. That was the first message I got from spirit. And I wanted to go on that journey with you guys because honestly, the first question I had was, well, who is this queen? What is the context of this profound thought that this person directly is going through? So we are going to get into it, and we will give you a view of the cards. Okay, now the first card, like I said, I was definitely feeling as though this individual is definitely thinking about a queen. And it's weird because I think it's almost this context where the person is thinking about right from wrong, maybe wishing they'd gone down a certain path. Two's company, three's a crowd. But they definitely are in this T section in the road, and it is really thinking about a person who they feel directly is very entangled in their bloodstream. It's almost like you're under their skin, and they look at the way they're looking up at the crowd. It's like, okay, maybe wasn't the best, chook in the roost. And divine feminine's like, and this is something they're considering. I feel as though they're looking at the person they've chosen versus the person that they're wanting at this point. I haven't gone through the rest of the road, but I do see this person looking up and they're like, I've got to level up. And I feel this is like, gosh, it's almost like trying to serve a dish up to impress somebody, but it falls and too much salt goes in, everything just goes wrong. And they're kind of looking at it going, okay, well, this is what I want. I'm at a crossroad here. Do I actually communicate? What am I going to do? Learning, let's read the card. Learning to create what you desire. So they're like, okay. It's weird because one of the messages I'm getting is the person almost feeling as though they have co-created some of this and that they don't know how they've got themselves in this wicked mess at this point in time. As we do look at the top row, we're looking to the past here. And this person in the context of it, as they're looking to the past, maybe they were at that T section in the road. Maybe they, didn't believe that you had the feelings that you had. They didn't believe that, it could work due to circumstances. They felt maybe they could let it go. Again, look at the crown. It's like the sacrifices. It's almost like they gospelly feel that the person that has made the sacrifices for them is the one that's on their mind, is the deciding factor. It's this particular individual they're thinking about. And this person has made sacrifices, and they believed in fairy tales. They really believed in fairy tales. I'm seeing the horse and, she's cradling the horse, looking up at the sky like, yeah, I did believe. I really, really did believe. They felt that when they had met you and, around the time, and for some of you, this could be most recent. For some of you, this could be a circumstance that you guys most recently went through, and maybe it went a little bit pear-shaped. And they feel as though something that has changed now. The thoughts, the feelings. They also feel a circumstance around a karmic third-party situation also. And like they're trying to learn from it. In the heart chakra space, they have finding the lesson, discovering the purpose in the situation, trust that you are learning, and it's weird because we have the cat sitting on the card, which we always say cats have 9 lives. And we do directly note inside the TF path, it really does depend. And I'm going to be honest, it depends on the wave of twin you are. For those of you that have been on the path for a long time, or you've been through a heavy amount of adversity, those 9 lives, especially in Divine Feminine's life, you kind of get a thinking, it's like, wow, this is a very long path. Can I do it again? Can I move in again? And it's not until you're actually faced with that circumstance can you actually really answer that. But I do have this sense that this person, much like us, is going, it's almost like this serendipity moment where you feel you have a connection with the person. You can't quite explain it. Things go pear-shaped. And then in the aftermath, you're kind of like scratching your head saying, what the devil happened there? How did I get myself caught up in maybe a net, of some karmic situation? And what they thought maybe before was difficult, maybe even with you, they're now feeling, they're looking at things and going, why was I stressed? Why was I triggered? It's really psychoanalyzing themselves based on the behavioral patterns. But also maybe not understanding why you were getting so cross, probably because in the context they didn't believe you had a connection. There also could be a person around them at the moment that it was like, no matter what, they're always unsatisfied. I'm getting that song from, I think it's Prince, never satisfied, always, somebody's always wanting something from them. Somebody's always codependent. And so when they are correlating stories between a genre they had with you in some shape or form and one in which they're having now, it's the proof is in the pie. I think as we get into the foundation, this is where it's going to get juicy. But yeah, this past situation, it's almost like it's nagging at them, like, why didn't I see it? How did I not see this? I feel I'm telling you, they are so very confused right now, but not in a bad way, in a thought-provoking way, really going to the context of the crowning energy. It keeps coming back to the crowning energy. It's like the queen, the queen of my castle. It's like, what went wrong? What am I dealing with? How do I go about dealing with this circumstance? There could, and I'm going to come back and clarify, but I definitely feel there could be a possibility that there's a karmic involvement in this, because as we look to the past position, it's like, not having faith in themselves, not jumping in the deep end, not believing, maybe Divine Feminine would have waited for a very long time. But now they're kind of like, am I worthy? Could I still have this? In the context of where they feel they've changed overnight, but they also feel Divine Feminine's changed. They feel even the karmic situation's changed. So it feels as though there's this acceleration, like there's karmic tests and there's movements and they're happening ever so quickly. And just these revelations and almost a feeling of mourning. It's like, oh gosh. It's deep. It's very, very deep. Yeah, I think we really need to prepare ourselves going into the second half of the reading. I have this synchronistic feeling that there could be a turning here, a real turning. Hmm. I feel as though, especially this card dropping down to a 3, it's like a person destitute on a beach. It's like, okay, shipwrecked, moved up, things are falling down, things are a mess, got to deal with it. Bird totem can be a very synchronistic thing. Birds do mate for life with certain species. They're like, okay, I need to claim that. The context I'm getting very, very deeply is I need to get in here and actually clean up the mess. I need to redirect my course, get things done. Like, it's almost like intuitively, because of the crowning energy and the upper row, the bottom row is really talking about what they feel they need to do to redirect their life, what they feel is correct, what they feel you're deserving of, what they feel they have to deal with the karmic situation. It's funny because even the card says, be a leader. Show others how it's done. You can help others. It's almost like the bird's giving a hue of a skunk, like a very messy situation. There is going to be gold at the end of it. And they're sitting on a golden opportunity, because in having a revelation, it means you can turn your ship around. They wanted this to be yesterday. They're like, I don't even know how. You know what? It's funny. It's like, for some of them, it could feel as though it's too late to do something, but I'm kind of not getting that context. I feel it's all in the action, not in the words, because this is a card that's blue. And the preceding card is appearing to be, at this point in time, quite positive. It's so silent, even tuning into it. It's almost like when I'm being psychic, when I tune into the individual, when I'm channeling the reading, I generally get the vibration and the surroundings of what the person's experiencing, and it's gracefully silent. It's almost like they're alone. When you're shocked and it's sort of like you go cold and you get the ringing in your ears and it's silent. That's the feeling I'm getting. I feel as we backtrack, we're going to get more here. They're not wanting to repeat a toxic pattern. I mean, this card here alone with the green, it's like making sacrifices. Sometimes we use pacifiers to directly deal with our stress levels, because we directly can't understand why in our path we are choosing to do things that are quite self-sabotaging. It's almost like tolerating things, enduring things, especially with the top row, with, being in a jam, with drama, maybe getting sucked into it. It's a little bit like when you do tune into a karmic energy, or that person directly is tuning into you, especially from being a psychic medium point of view. For those of you that don't know, I am a twin flame. You directly can actually have psychic attacks. And, this person here, it's almost like, God, how did I get myself into this? How did I get myself into a circumstance that it's messy, always whinging? These are the analogies that they're giving me. It's like icky, tolerating things, not standing up for themselves, actually not having pleasure in life. For some of them, I am really getting that. For some of them, they got themselves into a pickle and not addressed certain things that were needing to be addressed. They haven't had luxuries. And when I say luxuries, it doesn't have to be a monetary situation. This could be peace and zen without nagging. This could be having your own autonomous thoughts without a karmic third party micromanaging you. So it's various things, but it's more the context of living in a zen vibration. Now and then being able to slack off and, do things that are nice, do things that are luxurious without being criticized or, micromanaged. And the context is really that they've got themselves in this real messy, sticky situation. I feel, as we're backtracking, we're going to say something that has gone down. And it could be the deciding factor of what they're choosing. Is it going to be moving back into a pattern where this person directly is going to go back into, it's really not that bad? Or are they directly going to, jump in the deep end? We're going to have to dig. This card, like the Hangman, that's the outcome card at this point in time. We need to backtrack to see what further is going on. We're going to come back to this card. That outcome card. I'm getting a few messages already, but I still feel there's more. I think we need to go further down where they're wanting me to clarify. Okay, has something gone down between them and another individual? It can be. They felt this situation was very immature. Okay, this could be a fight. This also could be just a memory where the person's reflecting back. But for some, it is a fight. It's feeling as though it's like I said, because I'm getting two messages here. For some, it is physically they're just looking back and going, "What the hell did I do?" For others, it can be that there was a dispute and a breakdown of the karmic. This can be walking out. This can be thrown out. Yeah, I'm feeling for some, it's like, how did I get myself in? Okay, what about actions moving forward? Oh, okay, they're like, something's shocking them. They're like, what have I done? This could be trauma and emotions to do with guilt. A lot of drama going on around them. They're like, how did this, sometimes, and this could even be for those of you that are in reunion or union, there could be some dramas happening maybe on your side or their side. And they're kind of like, is this going to conflict our connection? So especially for those of you in communication, because we do have a third party, there also could be an interfering friend. Oh, that just jumped out. Yeah, just never being around, always being busy and feeling as though they can't connect. Okay, what are they doing with this toxic situation and not going back into it? I think they made a decision, they don't care. They're like, you know what, I might lose some things, but they're just really done appeasing people. Now we are going to dig deeper into this, and I'm going to give you my psychic energies of what I feel is coming for the outcome. First message I got is that it's like they know that they're not going to know how this is going to turn out, because many times I do believe in the context, they physically felt as though they really needed to know and to be sure. And I think a lot of us can resonate. It might have been you were in a karmic relationship yourself, or it wasn't divine timing, or you couldn't express how whatever that was. And we, in some subconscious way, we need a surety that maybe if we do reach out, suggest, that we could be rejected. I don't think it's totally that way. I feel there could be something else. But they're also knowing that whatever they're going to do, they are, this is quite positive that they're going to need to make sacrifices. Hangman as the outcome card means in order to get what we want, we need to sacrifice. Now, that can be, okay, blood, sweat, and tears and putting more energy in. One example, you hate a job, so you decide that you are going to work double hours. It could be to build your business up and to move in a particular way. Another example, okay, yes, maybe it was a financial entanglement and the person is like, this is going to really affect me financially, but they know that the longer they wait, their life is leaving, like they're getting older. It's a portion of their zen that they have, and money is not zen. Money is security, I will say, in this modern age, but it's, if your body ever gets to the point where the buck is not worth the grind in the context, this is where the person is ready, because and I definitely resonate with this in the context when people would ask me all the time, especially in the journey, when is this going to stop? It could be we're repeating patterns and we're doing certain things, and you can tell me if this has happened to you. And for some people, I have said, well, I'm tired of eating enough shit. And this is what this person's really tired of. They're tired of going through a pattern. They're tired of never, having maybe acceptance, feeling connected, having people around them always, they don't want the conflict with you. Sometimes they shut down and they don't know how to express. And I think if the created safe space is there, I think it could be easier. But do you know what? I really do feel this person this week, there's going to be something major that's going down. A major decision is going to be had. We're hoping they don't go back into drinking the green juice, which is going into toxic patterns and habits. But at this point in time, they know that they do need to make a decision. Okay, for those of you that don't know, yes, we do have updates that are coming to the web. We also do have all our links directly below, and you can book a reading online. They are very limited. Separately with these links, we have launched a new membership. It has been open for a while. We're tweaking, upgrading, adding. If you want to go and see what we offer inside of this, they do get all the twin flame content pre-released, as well as private super chats, coaching sessions, and I'm available to them pretty much Monday to Sunday. So they're able to chime in a private inbox within the members. If that's something that you feel you need in a sense of support, feel free to come through. We do cover the masculine, the feminine, and the karmic. So if that's something that you want and you want to be part of this channel, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you next week.